Hello everybody and welcome back to our little farming adventure. Now, to bring context to the rest of the channel real quick, I'm going to pull away from what we're doing in this episode, which is decorating. I've kind of held off on a lot of my other series for right now because this little series was supposed to be my break from those series so I can refocus and kind of bring myself back into those series. None of those series are ending. The fantasy series is still going to be going. After this farming adventure, the board series, or My Forever World, essentially, is going to be coming back, as well as the next season of Better Minecraft. Also, another thing to note, the fantasy series is going to be taking a tiny hiatus. And by a tiny one, I mean, I want to figure out the next bit of storyline, and the next video is going to take a bit more time to come out. I plan on starting it around the 15th of every month. So around the middle point of every month, I'm going to release a fantasy video. So the first day of every month, or the first week of the month, is going to have the Sims video. And then we're going to have some normal videos. So at that point, it's probably going to be Better Minecraft or the board series. It's going to be one of those. And then it's going to be the fantasy series. And then it's going to go back and essentially just do that all over again. So that's my plan for the video uploads, but this has been kind of my little vacation away from everything. Just a world that I can go into. Why? It's already raining IRL. I don't need Minecraft rain as well. Why? Oh my word. Now I'm going to sleep this away before I can continue the video. I'll just walk inside and talk from there. That's fine. There we go. But yeah, those series will be continuing. I did not forget they exist. It's just this has been my little vacation. Because I've been very focused on this world because of how fun this type of gameplay is to me. Where I'm just building up small little farms and different shops and stuff like that. Just this feels more fun to me than my other series right now. So I'm just kind of taking a little bit of a vacation, getting my brain back into the gear of everything, and then I'm going to jump back into those worlds. I suppose I can also talk about what's in my inventory right now. This is all the stuff we're going to be working with today. This is everything I'm going to be using to decorate out there. Because today we're supposed to be decorating the exterior of both the tea shop and the smithy. And this was everything to get me started. There are a few other small things like cauldrons and stuff I can probably get my hands on to just help with all of that, but I want to work on that. I guess now, because I don't really have a choice in that matter. Okay, now that the rain has stopped as far as in-game. Also, if you hear some thunder in the background, I was not kidding. It is actually very heavily storming where I live. Just very heavy rain. I couldn't even see 2 steps in front of me when I looked outside earlier. So, yeah. I don't want rain in my game. But I've also decorated a little bit interiorly when it comes to the tea shop. I did a little greenhouse back here that has our lavender and our... I cannot remember what this is. Hibiscus. I originally had some rich soil in these corners. Turns out if you put rich soil underneath these plants in particular, they will essentially bone meal themselves, which means I was coming back to hundreds of them just sitting in here and lagging my game out. So now they just sit in pots on tables. I also have a few more kind of just decorating the outside of the building. Also, another thing I should probably explain, what are these? These are the other 2 plants that were necessary that can't be the plant put down and then bone mealed. This is the, I know this one I think is the ribose? I'm going to say ribose. I'm probably getting that very wrong. And this one is the yerba mate. I'm going to be honest, I am probably not saying those right at all. I acknowledge this. But I found out that these are both plantable after the video, so I went ahead and planted them. The thumbnail's going to have these 2 in the video because I found it out very shortly before I posted that video. So I had already put these farms in. But these were the two that we actually put up during the video, and then these two came in between episodes because I didn't realize that I actually needed these as well. But yes, I have all the plants necessary to finish this out. So this is probably something we're going to finish today. But my first step is doing the pathing. Because one thing's for sure is I want a little bit of a stone piece out here kind of like next to all of this. So that I can have like a little bit of a dining area right next to the tea shop. Also, you probably can hear it just with me chilling over here. The villagers did get moved in between episodes. I did in fact move them in. They're up there. Okay, and there we go. Just a bit of blending back here where some of this ends up back here. Some of the stone is blended back here with the coarse dirt. I'm eventually going to put some shelves and stuff back here. And maybe some form of what looks to be like a tanning rack. Just so it looks like there's been some leather work done back here. And probably some storage off over here of coal, things of that nature. Probably on shelving units back here. And now I need to match this path in and blend it in with what's going on here. Okay, this is a very slow going process. Currently, I have this path figured out. I have the texturing on the ground around the well and around here and around the back of here figured out. And then I have these paths figured out. The problem is I'm trying to blur kind of where these pathways meet a bit more. And I'm not quite sure how to do it. I'm kind of like breaking down some of the like actual path blocks I use. I feel like this one could probably go be replaced with like coarse dirt. Just in an attempt to try and blend them a bit more. Because right now it kind of looks a little bit, I'll be honest, it kind of looks a little bit janky. I don't much like how it looks. But I'm gonna slowly figure this out. This is a learning process. Because this is the first time I've had to do texturing around these path blocks. Everywhere else, I've just kind of got coarse dirt coming off in small paths. But this is a blending thing, so it's kind of having to be blended into the paths. So this is the first time I'm implementing stone into my path work. And I kind of have to. I don't have to do it around the well, but I feel like since it's already in the zone, it makes sense to put it around the well as well. Well. Okay. That figures out pathway-wise what's going on here. It is a giant cluster. But it does sort of blend the areas a bit more. When it gets really close to the big patches of coarse dirt, I did leave in a few pockets where I just took out the pathway and put in a few of the path blocks, or the coarse dirt pockets. And then in areas like this, I just put coarse dirt underneath a few of them. So you're still seeing the green, but you also see the coarse dirt from these areas still translating into some of these areas. Just to try and blend it out a bit more, I am going to bone meal a lot of this. I'm probably going to bring another tree down in here, and then another tree here. And then bone meal up the grass a bit more, and maybe even another tree here with like a bench and stuff. You know, I'll probably do that. I'll go ahead and go grab those. Okay, and there's a little bit of our town square. Ignore the bed. This is going to stay here. That is mine. But that is after a bit of... I still have to get some lanterns because I want to put a few lanterns like on this branch and this branch of this tree to help light up the pathways a bit more. But a few of the trees already have lanterns on them. We have our little well. I feel like there needs to be like... Hold on, we're just going to throw a cup on it, maybe. There we go. That feels a little bit better because I can't place buckets down. I could probably lay like a flower pot or something down here to look like a bucket somebody's put in here. But I feel like a cup does just as well. Because some people would use like handled like pitchers to grab water out of there. So I feel like that kind of gets the same feeling across. And then of course we have our pathway going up to where we are going to have... Hold on. Not bakery. What was it? Candlelight. Candlelight's going to be up here. Uh, the building is going to be sitting primarily right here with an outdoor kind of seating area, and probably I want to have like a little bit of a pergola type effect over here just to make it look pretty. And then the gardens are going to be sitting back in here, overlooking the bakery's gardens, which are going to be down in that area. But of course, I also bone mealed a lot of the ground, so a lot of the natural flowers that appear on the island are back in here. So the reds, the small purples, things of that nature are all back. Sadly, I can't make like the naturally generated jungle trees that happen here, because these I can't grow. Like these just generate like this, and then whenever you try to grow another one, it doesn't generate like this. A lot like these bushed ones. I could probably recreate these, but I like using these for leaves and just creating my own bushes. Because that way I get to texture them a bit more and make them kind of the size I need them to be, wherever I need them. We also have a little bit of a bench here. And then of course this is going to continue. This I'm probably going to turn into a bit more of a flower bed. I'm probably going to put more diverse flowers in here whenever I clear the area down for bakery. Because its pathway is going to run along here, I think. Just run kind of crooked and run into the bakery, which is going to sit on this level right here, because it's going to be even with the candlelight building. So all of this mountain, I'm still going to have to terraform down, because all of it's going to come down to near about this level. I've got to terraform this. I actually terraformed it up because I thought I was going to leave this up to this level, but instead I'm going to tear it down to make it even with candlelight. So I need to tear this back down to make a little bit of an easier path getting down into here. But that is the texturing for this pathway. Now I've got to bring it down here and put in a little bit of a dining area right here. Alrighty. Now I do have my lanterns up here, and walking down here you'll see there are quite a few more trees around. And this area is now decorated. Now this path doesn't continue because I don't know exactly where, if there's going to be a middle path here. I still have to figure out some of the pathing down through here, but I am going to take you around this side, where these now have coarse dirt pathing. And if you walk back here, there's now a workstation. This is going to be covered in leaves eventually, so it's going to be kind of a covered workstation for this area. Because right now it's already covered by a hill. So the hibiscus and the lavender, which I can bone meal to get more of these, by the way. I did, in fact, go and find the wiki, because I actually really like this mod. I did say in the last video that I was going to look more into this one, so I did go find the wiki so I could find all the stuff you can do with it. Pretty cool mod. I do like this one. But it does have kind of like a side, kind of more witchy aspect, where you can make like armor flasks and stuff like that, where you actually need like lavender and the hibiscus and stuff like that for a lot of the armor flask and health flask and things of that nature. So I did make sure we had a few of those planted back here, as well as a small greenhouse that actually displays them. Hold on, did I ever put a lavender back here? Uh-oh. Hold on. I can fix that issue right here. Probably threw them in one of the boxes somewhere. It's fine. Easy fix. But now we have this. I do want to get a wooden table. I'm probably going to throw that down here in between episodes. But there is this teapot and this one. This one is just purely decorative. This one is actually usable. But I think before we end off this episode, first and foremost, I need to go clean out my inventory. I also need to throw a few of these cups out here on these tables. I'm just gonna feel like that makes a bit more sense. I did also add in a few benches over here that are just kind of like in between all the gardens and stuff, where people can just come relax. This feels like a great place to come out and like read a book. It feels so nice to be right here. I can't wait until I can extend this further down and give the same effect to the entire area. But I want to quickly go empty my inventory. And the last thing we're going to do in this episode is try and finish up the herbal brews mod. Because there's actually a reward banner that you can get for having every single tea type in your inventory. So I'm going to go see if I can actually finish this mod out in this episode. Hello, I have plenty of extra coffees. And I have cows. Okay. So then we fuse this with this. And we did it! Oh, those are so loud, but gosh, does it feel good to have it. And there we go. Our completionist for this. God, that banner's so pretty. Okay, a few of these actually have the completionist banners, and these are what I'm going to go for when it comes to certain mods. In order to feel complete in these things, certain ones have completionist banners. So things like bakery, herbal brews. Hold on, let me go look at which ones actually have it. Okay, so there's a few of the mods that we're going to have to completionize. So candlelight, bakery, vinery, brewery, and we just did herbal brews. So the tea shop is completely done. The next one we're going to be working on, which is going to be next episode, which is going to be candlelight. We're going to fully completionize candlelight in one episode. Will that probably be a lot to do? Yes. Am I going to get it done? I am going to sure as heck try. But that also means candlelight's going to have some prep, as I said, because it's going to need a few things. I look at candlelight real quick. Looks like it just needs the tomatoes and the lettuce it came with. Mozzarella, which is just milk buckets in general. Okay, cool. Dough, it will accept any forage wheat alternative. So I can just use wheat for that. Butter is just milk. Okay, but I have to craft every single one of these dishes. Oh, and I'm going to need vinery to do it. So that's going to be a fun experience. Which means I have a lot of terraforming to do. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!